and welcome to ECCB Connects. ECCB Connects is a production of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank designed to share with you who we are, what we do, and how we serve you. Today we speak with St. Lucian-born recording artist Teddyson John. He talks about his experience working in the creative industry, shares his perspective on the importance of music to the Caribbean region, and provides advice to young people about following their dreams. Do stay connected with us. We'll share more with you after this message.
Calling all secondary school and college students in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, ages 13 to 19. Have you submitted your entry for the 2024 ECCB RSSARU Songwriting Competition? You have until 31st of January to do so. Log on to the ECCB website, www.eccb-centralbank.org for the entry form and competition guidelines. You can also access useful tips from the experts who presented at the recent informational session. Thousands of dollars are up for grabs, so let your creative juices flow and compose your song on any one of the three topics: food security for the Caribbean, my vision for the Eastern Caribbean dollar, mental health of teens and young adults. So what are you waiting for? Write, perform, and submit your entry for the 2024 Creative Youth Songwriting Competition and become a winner!
Teddy, thank you so much for sitting down and speaking with us on ECCB Connects.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you are a seasoned, internationally acclaimed soca artist. You've had years on the music scene. I want you to take us back and tell us, how did you get started in this industry?
I've been dabbling in music from a kid, from church. You know, school choirs, church choirs, that kind of vibes. We've been doing that. Was raised in gospel, jazz, R&B, but went into soca. I actually got tricked into soca music.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was working on a cruise ship, then Celebrity Cruises, and there was this producer that he's a now producer, but he was our drummer at the time. This Penn of Studio 758, Penn and Ace, you know, of Studio 758. And they knew I liked, you know, singing. I always heard about the groovy soca kind of vibe. So he was like, let's create this little demo, you know. So I created a nice little demo, and the next day I heard a demo playing on radio, and DJs tuning it up and wheeling it and all that kind of stuff. So my first time having to come into soca, I ended up being in a competition that I knew nothing about, you know, Groovy Monarch and in St. Lucia, and then I won that competition.
Sure. Right.
And then I think when everybody got to know of me was with Ale.
Correct.
So everybody, so classic that was like so that was like another introduction.
Right. As you said, you've always been around music, jazz, gospel, but did you set out, in a child's mind, did you set out and say, music is what I want to do with my life?
I always saw it. I always saw it. There's something about dreams and visions and manifestations and all that kind of stuff. I always saw people coming out to see me somewhere, or like lights, camera, action. I always saw that. So from young, I always used to look at live DVDs and live concerts and all these different things and keep learning. But I always saw it from, you know, it was always music.
In your future.
Yeah. And then in probably 2012, I decided to, you know, jump with both feet in.
You've won awards. I know you've won the International Soca Award, World Reggae Music Award. So, you know, you've had great success internationally and regionally. But I'd like you to talk to us about some of the challenges that you've encountered, because the creative industry is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart. So talk to us about some of the experiences you've had and why you chose to persist.
I think I have a passion for what I do. I do the right reasons is being able to make a difference with the music. If you're doing it for money, you're in the wrong profession. It takes a while, you know, to get to that kind of level. The investment alone, sometimes you as an artist may not see the investment up front, but it takes time and it takes dedication to build a brand and know who you are, and not just like not like, for me it was never about one song. Like, you know, every time, you know, the industry is a place like everybody looks for that one song, and then after the year end you come back, what you have.
Yes.
I mean, we doing ourselves a disjustice, you know, in that aspect of it. It's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of sleepless nights, it's a lot of nights where you feel like giving up because, you know, it may not turn out the way that you want it to turn out. But I believe, for me, I wanted to have a different take with the soca music. Like, I wanted to surpass a carnival season. None of the songs that people know me for speak about carnival. None. And I wanted that because I didn't want it to be okay. Every year for me, I just figured it was the same thing, you know. Your friends who drink in, who jump in, whining now and this, who have coolers, who have... So every year we get the same thing, the same kind of message. So
you were purposeful.
Yeah, so I was purposeful in going somewhere that somebody going through, you know, something in their life can be able to take that song and listen to that song and make them feel, you know, make them feel better. But it's a lot of hard work. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody, you know, nobody will. And when the universe or God gives you the vision, He gives it to you to run with it and do what you have to do. But I am simply a product of somebody that has passion for what, you know, they do. They do. It's hard to get it done, but when you're doing it for the right reasons, it works out. Yeah.
How important is music for our region? How in terms of, as we seek, we are small, we know that we have a lot of other countries we are competing with. How important is music for the development of the Caribbean region?
I think we should, first of all, take out the notion that we're small. I think when you start to think like that, you put yourself in that box. Like, they go places and you hear the small islands. You know, I don't like that. I think when you look at the Caribbean, you look at the Caribbean, I want people to see everybody. You don't just want to see people to see the bigger, or the islands with a bigger population. I would say Trinidad have a bigger population, Jamaica a bigger population, but we just separated. We all one, and we all have our own unique, you know, kind of vibes with us. So the whole small island mentality, I think if we take that out of our thinking, we start to, you know, elevate. So that whole mentality of the small islands, if we come out of that thinking, there's no limit to what, you know, we can do. We didn't choose to come from where we come from. We embrace where we come from, and we show the world this is what, you know, we do. That's why I love going on stages every time, and you'll hear me say Teddyson John from the beautiful island of St. Lucia. They have to know. Yeah. You understand? So yeah. So take out that we not no small island thing, you know, been there, done that, that was a. So try and have a different way of thinking, and then your mind and everything else elevates with that.
I love that. I love that. So I will rephrase myself from henceforth. And so finally, what would you say to young people in particular? You know, there are a lot of different vocations that they can get into, but in terms of the creative industry, what would you say to them if they want to get into that? Because, you know, parents a lot of times have dreams for their children to get in traditional fields, but they are who they are. What do you say to them as they try to develop those dreams? Like,
don't let nobody tell you what you can do and what you cannot do. You wake up with something, a burning desire every morning. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You know, up to a day like today, my mom would like, Teddy, you know, the traveling and all of the, you don't want to get a, you know, my mother's, you know, we come from church, so my mother's still on that kind of, you know, mentality where you're supposed to have a 9 to 5.
Yes,
and
yes.
But been there, done that. I think just do it for the right reasons. It's a lot of work. Develop yourself, figure out what you want to do. And I also think the governments and the creative, the ministries of the creative industries and all that kind of stuff can do more in helping, you know, with artists and helping nurture them. There's so many workshops, there's so many different things that they can, you know, they can do. A lot of us are on our own to get to where we have to, you know, go. You'll get help from government here, there, and a little something,
but
you know.
it needs to be more concerted.
But it needs to be more, you understand? You invest in them. You invest in the right networks, you know, you create. The power of networking is so important, you know. A lot of things happen to me in my life where proper networking and relationships is what happened, you know, there. I would tell the young ones, don't get swell-headed too quick, you understand? Or leave the swell-headedness alone, you know, because the same way you on top is the same way you can come down, you know. Be humble, your attitude, your vibe, your energy, make people want to be around you, and try to do something that is going to last, you know. We're in an industry where there's so many different trends. I don't like to follow trends because trends changes every week. Every 2 days or every second or every hour it changes. So if you don't know who you are, you're gonna be spinning in a top, like a top of, you know, in mud and just not knowing, because okay, that hot, you go in there, this what, you go in there, and losing your identity. So my thing is, know who you are, get a proper management, you know, structure behind you. You can't do it alone, and listen. You know, listen. I have no yes people around me. I've never had that. You know, I've had people that, you know,
tell you, tell you what it is and need to guide you.
Yeah, I'm my biggest, you know, critique, because sometimes when I finish perform, I go watch the performance and I see places where I messed up and I shouldn't have, you know. So I work on that, and every day you work on that to make yourself, you know, better as an individual. I think if you put your passion there, and if you really follow your passion and you believe in yourself, you know, the universe gonna open up doors for you.
Teddy, thank you so much for speaking with us, sharing your insight and your story, your passion for music.
Thank you.
We are the students of the Gingerland Secondary School, and you are watching ECCB Connects.
We're at the end of this episode of ECCB Connects. We've been speaking with award-winning recording artist Teddyson John about his work in the creative industry. He also shared advice with the young people of the region about following their dreams and the importance of pursuing their passions. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to join us next week when we bring you another program of ECCB Connects.